Hello everyone. I welcome you all in today's lecture, which is being conducted under the Prerna scheme. This Prerna scheme is sponsored by All India Council for Technical Education for preparing students for higher education like GATE examinations, etc. Before starting the lecture, I would like to introduce myself. I am Mohitsingh Katoch, working as Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department of Tulsiramji Gaikwad-Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. Today's lecture is going to be on the subject environmental engineering, and the topic which we are going to cover is noise pollution. So before starting the topic, let us have a view on the reference books which you can use to prepare this topic. First reference book is Sewage Disposal and Air Pollution Engineering by S.K. Garg. Second reference book is Environmental Science and Engineering by Aloka Devi. And third reference book is Environmental Studies by Dr. Suresh K. Dhameja. You can use any one of these three books for preparing the topic of noise pollution for GATE examination. The points which we are going to cover in today's lecture are the concept and characteristics related to noise, what is noise pollution, what are various sources, causes, effects, and controlling measures of noise pollution. And finally, we will have a look on various laws and standards which are related to noise pollution in India as well as abroad. We will start the lecture with the most basic thing, that is sound. Sound is a vibration that propagates as a mechanical wave of pressure and displacement through some medium, that is air or water. So sound needs a medium to travel and propagate itself from one place to another place. Sound refers to only those vibrations with frequencies that are within the range of hearing capacity for humans. So there are low pitch sounds, there are high pitch sounds, but here we are only referring to those vibrations which are in the hearing bandwidth of human ears. Sound is a very normal feature of our life. We communicate with each other with the help of sound. We convey our message to other people with the help of sound. But when this sound becomes unbearable, it becomes noise. So noise is basically any unwanted, unpleasant, and undesirable sound which hampers our comfort, health, and welfare. So noise damages our health, and we are unable to concentrate in any work if we are in a noisy environment. Noise pollution is measured in a unit known as decibels, and it is denoted by small d and capital B. The unit of noise pollution, decibel, is defined as the logarithm to the base 10 to the ratio of two intensities, I and I0. The formula for decibel is L to the base T is equal to 10 log to the base 10 into I divided by I0 decibels. In this formula, capital I is the measured intensity, I0 is the reference intensity, and LT is the level of noise in decibels. So, if we want to measure noise pollution in a particular area, we will use certain noise meters. We will get an intensity using those meters. It will be written in place of capital I in this formula. We will write I0, that is reference intensity, with the help of a chart which is already available with us. And using this formula, we will find out what is the level of noise pollution in a particular place. So this formula can be asked in the GATE examination. They can twist the formula, they can either change the base of this log, or they can interchange the values of capital I and I0. So you have to keep this formula in mind, and you must know what is the correct and exact formula for calculating decibels. So note down this formula in your notebooks and keep it in mind thoroughly. Now we will see what are the characteristics of noise. So various characteristics of noise are sound pressure, frequency, intensity, duration of that particular noise, time of the day, whether it is in daytime or at night time, location of that noise, and intermittency of that noise. So these are various characteristics which are associated with noise pollution. After the characteristics, we will now see what are various types of noises. So noise can be classified into three major types. First one is continuous noise. Second one is intermittent noise, which is also known as variable noise. And third type of noise is impulse or impact noise. So any uninterrupted sound level that varies less than 5 decibels during the entire period of observation is known as continuous noise. A good example of continuous noise is running fan. It don't irritate you even if it is running on for 4 to 5 hours because its intensity is less than 5 decibels, which is well below the tolerable limit of human ears. Second one is intermittent or variable noise. So it is noise which continues for more than 1 second and is then interrupted for more than 1 second. A good example for intermittent noise is drilling machine which is used by a dentist. Third type of noise is impulse or impact noise. It is characterized by a change of sound pressure of at least 40 decibels within zero point 0.5 seconds with a duration of less than 1 second. So these photographs clearly depict what are the various kinds and types of noises. First one is continuous noise example, a generator which produces continuous noise pollution. Second one is intermittent noise pollution. Here we can see an example of a factory which has certain horns or sound alarms which goes on after few durations and produce noise pollution. Third one is impulse or impact noise example, that is firing of a weapon. You can see the person who is firing the gun is wearing a ear protective equipment. So this type of equipments are very necessary if you want to protect yourself from adverse effects of noise pollution. So basically, noise pollution refers to a type of energy pollution in which distracting, irritating, or damaging sounds are freely audible. In this type of pollution, contaminants are not physical particles but are waves which interfere with the naturally occurring waves of a similar type in the same environment. We all have studied air pollution and water pollution, and we know that the pollutants which pollute air and water were physical or chemical in nature. But in case of noise pollution, the pollutants are not physical, but they are waves. And these waves interfere with naturally occurring waves which are already present in the same environment. Various sources of noise pollution are household sources, social events, commercial and industrial activities, transportation vehicles, agricultural machines, and defense equipments. We will see all these sources one by one in detail. All the household appliances which we use in our houses for ease of operation and our comfort are a big source of noise pollution inside our house. Few examples are food mixture and grinder, vacuum cleaner, washing machine and dryers, air conditioners, straighteners and curlers, cooler, TV, iPods and earphones, loudspeakers, and especially neighbors barking dog. All these phenomena are directly related to household noise pollution. In this photograph, you can see various commonly used household appliances in every Indian home. Knowingly or unknowingly, we use these appliances and create noise pollution inside our homes. Second source of noise pollution is the social events. It includes various places of worship, various parties, discos and pubs, various commercials which are operated during election campaigns, and markets where people sell goods with loudspeaker. One point to remember here is that when these events which are listed in this social event are not often, they can be termed as nuisance rather than noise pollution. If these type of social events happen on very rare occasions, we can say that these events are creating nuisance rather than saying that these events are creating noise pollution. So there is a basic difference between nuisance and noise pollution which we must keep in mind. So this photograph shows various types of social events and how noise pollution is created in these social events. Number third source of noise pollution is commercial and industrial activities. It includes various printing presses, manufacturing industries, and construction sites. So the sources of industry noise are the fans, motors, and compressors which are used in these industries. These interior noise sources have significant impact on industrial workers, among whom noise induced hearing loss is unfortunately common. So the workers which are working continuously in these noisy environments, they face loss of hearing very commonly. So we must try to protect these workers from these type of losses. So these are the motors and fans which produce noise pollution in the industries. Sources of construction noise are various equipments such as pneumatic hammers, air compressors, bulldozers, loaders, dump trucks, and pavement breakers. So during any type of construction work, very much high quantity of noise pollution is created. Next source of noise pollution is the transportation. It includes road traffic noise, air traffic noise, and noise from the railways. So these photographs depict how our ever increasing population is relying on cars rather than relying on the public transportation system. And unknowingly, we are creating air as well as large quantity of noise pollution. Aircraft also plays a very important role in noise pollution. The people which live around the airports face many physical problems related to noise pollution. Railways also contribute heavily in noise pollution. The horns mounted on top of the railway engines create high intensity noise pollution. Apart from these sources, the machinery used in agricultural activities and the defense equipments used on border as well as in testing ranges contribute in noise pollution as well. So the causes of noise pollution can be summarized as follows: poor urban planning, sounds from motor vehicles, sounds from musical instruments, car alarms, office equipments, factory machinery, construction work, barking animals, various household appliances, audio instruments, loudspeakers, and the noise created by the people. All these sources heavily contribute in increasing the noise pollution with each passing day. We studied various sources and causes of noise pollution. Now we will see what are the effects of this noise pollution on humans, animals, as well as on the environment. So effects on humans includes hearing impairment, interference with spoken communication, decrease in efficiency of people, lack of concentration, fatigue, sleep disturbances, and cardiovascular disturbances. After going through this list, you can clearly see that how noise pollution is affecting human beings in various forms. We can lose our hearing capacity. We are unable to concentrate, and because of that, our efficiency in work is decreasing. Lots of people are having sleeping disturbances. They are unable to sleep at night, and many people are developing cardiovascular diseases. So all these are effects of noise pollution. So you can see how noise pollution hampers our normal day-to-day life. Fatigue and lack of concentration are severe side effects of noise pollution. The list of effects of noise pollution on human beings didn't end it in the previous slide. It is still continuing. We must have a look on few more effects also. First one is disturbance in mental health. Next is impaired task performance, negative social behavior and annoyance reactions, abortions, abnormal fetus, and temporary or permanent deafness. So after going through these lists, you can clearly see how noise pollution is hampering our life and how human beings are getting extremely disturbed due to this noise pollution. We will now have a look at various diseases which are caused by noise pollution. These diseases are as follows. First one is high blood pressure. Next is heart attack, cancer, asthma, coughing and wheezing, deafness, annoyance, stress, anxiety, reduced lung development, bronchitis, insomnia, arteriosclerosis, and the list is, I think, never ending. So noise pollution is very deadly, very dangerous. We don't understand how dangerous noise pollution is until we personally suffer from it. So prevention is better than cure. By keeping this motto in our mind, we must try to avoid all these diseases which are caused due to noise pollution. So you can clearly see in this photograph various organs in the human body which are affected due to diseases occurring because of the noise pollution. Brain stroke, bronchitis and asthma in lungs, high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, heart attack in the heart, cancer, all these are ill effects of noise pollution. After going through the effects of noise pollution on human beings, let us now have a look on the effects of noise pollution on animals. The nervous system of animals gets heavily damaged due to noise pollution. There is altering in the prey predator detection. Noise pollution creates problems in navigation. Animals become dangerous and they attack anybody which is in their vicinity. Metabolism of animals gets raised. There is reduction in the usable habitat of animals. Various species are dying due to this noise pollution. And last, there is genetic and evolutionary problems in various animals. So like human beings, animals are also suffering heavily due to noise pollution. Apart from these effects, there are some hormonal imbalances, chronic stress, panic and escape behavior, abandonment of offspring, injury, and loudness of interspecies communication. These are few other effects of noise pollution on the life of animals. Now we will see what are the effects of noise pollution on environment. Number first is breakage of earth barrier. Second is poor quality of crops. Third is damages to the buildings, bridges and monuments. And fourth effect of noise pollution is weakening of the edifice of buildings. So noise pollution not only damage human life as well as animal life, but it is also damaging the environment in which we live. The quality of crops is getting poorer and poorer with each passing day because of this noise pollution. The buildings, bridges and monuments are getting damaged. Their exterior surface is getting heavily damaged due to this noise pollution. So after seeing all these severe effects of noise pollution, we must know how to control this. So noise pollution can be controlled at the source itself. It can be controlled in its transmission path, and it can also be controlled by using some protective equipments. To achieve control of noise pollution at source, we must reduce the noise levels from the domestic sectors. Automobiles must be maintained regularly. Use of economic instruments. Control over vibrations must be there. Low voice speaking must be encouraged. There should be prohibition on usage of loudspeaker in public places. Selection of machineries should be done by keeping in mind the vibration and all the noises which are generated due to those machineries. Also, the machines must be maintained on a regular basis. By following all these protocols and these methods, we can control and reduce the noise pollution at the source itself. To control the sound pollution in its transmission path, we can install barriers, panels, and enclosures with sound absorbing materials. We can also develop green belt around the noise polluting industrial areas so that all the noise pollution can be absorbed by these trees plantations, and it will not affect the residential areas which is present beyond this green belt. We can also control the effects of noise pollution using certain protection equipments by reducing exposure to the noise pollution and by using job rotation method so that no worker is exposed to high levels of noise pollution for a longer duration of time. Apart from these three methods, there are some more techniques with which we can control the noise pollution. These are sound insulation, sound absorption, vibration damping, vibration isolation, urban planning, and public education and awareness. So using these control techniques, we can reduce the noise pollution at the source as well as in its transmission path. Now we will see various laws and standards which are related to this noise pollution in India. Earlier, noise pollution and its sources were addressed under the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. But these are now, however, regulated separately under the Noise Pollution Regulation and Control Rules 2000. So this bolded part can be asked in your GATE examination, that which rule is used to control the noise pollution in present scenario. So the answer is Noise Pollution Regulation and Control Rules 2000. Additionally, noise standards for motor vehicles, air conditioners, refrigerators, diesel generators, and certain types of construction equipments are prescribed under the Environment Protection Rules 1986. This can also be asked in the examination, so it is written in bold font. Noise emanating from industries is regulated by state pollution control boards, pollution control committees for states and union territories under the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. So all these rules and acts which are highlighted in bold font, you must note down in your notebooks. These can be asked in your examination. The schedule which you are watching on the screen is a part of Noise Pollution Regulation Control Rules 2000. It specifies the ambient air quality standards in respect of noise, that is, the maximum limit of noise pollution which can be generated and tolerated according to certain category of areas and zones during daytime as well as in night time. You should keep in mind that daytime means the duration between 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and nighttime means the duration between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So in the industrial areas, the limits of sound pollution during daytime is 75 decibels and during night time is 70 decibels. In commercial areas, this limit is 65 in daytime and 55 in night time. In residential areas, it is 55 decibels in daytime and 45 decibels in night time. More importantly, the last D zone, D category area, that is silence zone, the limit of noise pollution is 50 decibels during daytime and 40 decibels during night time. Silence zone is an area which comprises not less than 100 meters area around hospitals, educational institutions, courts, religious places, or any other area which is declared as such by the competent authorities. The values written in this table are very important as far as your gate examination is concerned. So write down these values in your notebooks and keep these values in your mind. These can be asked in your examination. The table which you are seeing now is the damage risk criteria for hearing loss in United States of America. It is prescribed by OSHA regulations. OSHA means Occupational Safety and Health Administration, USA. So you can see, according to the sound pressure level, that is noise pollution level, the working hours per day are reducing gradually. So if the sound pressure is 90 decibels, the maximum allowable duration per day in hours is 8 hours. That is, in an area where noise pollution is of 90 decibels, a person can work for maximum 8 hours. If the sound pressure increases by 2 decibels and reaches 92 decibel, the allowable duration reduces by 2 hours and it is 6 hours maximum. At 95 decibels, the maximum limit is 4 hours. At 105 decibels, the maximum hour duration is 1 hour only. So you can see, if the sound pressure level, that is noise pollution level, is on a higher side, the exposure time should be minimum. So by following these guidelines, the working shifts and working hours for workers in factories and industries in America is decided. Similar rules and regulations must be strictly followed in India as well if we want to protect our workers from damages due to noise pollution. This is the list of human responses for various sound level intensities. Starting from below, we can see at 0 decibels, the source is threshold of hearing and the effect is barely audible. Where ears are not able to hear anything and the sound is barely audible. As we go up and up in the sound level intensity, we can see that the effects are gradually increasing from very quiet to quiet, moderately loud, very loud, uncomfortably loud, and painful. The most traumatic injury which can happen in human beings is due to jet planes, jet liners, aircrafts, and they produce a sound level of intensity of about 140 decibels. So you can see how irreversible damage and loss of hearing can occur in human beings if we are exposed to high level of noise pollution. This particular table shows various harmful effects of noise pollution on human beings depending upon the level of noise pollution. From 0 up to 23 decibels, there is no disturbance in the normal human life. When the decibel range is between 30 to 60, stress, tension, and psychological effects occur, especially at the upper ranges of 50 to 60 decibels. From 60 to 90 decibel range, there is damage to health, psychological, and vegetative organs of human beings. That is, there is disturbance in stomach gall function, there is pain in muscles, problems like high blood pressure is there, and there is a disturbance in sleeping patterns of human beings. If the noise pollution range is between 60 to 120 decibels, there is serious damage to health and otological effects can be clearly seen in human beings. Otological effects means ear diseases can be clearly seen in human beings. If the noise pollution level goes beyond 120 decibels, there is painful effects in the long run. That is, temporary or permanent hearing loss can also occur in human beings. With this, we have reached to end of today's topic. We studied what is noise pollution, what are various sources of noise pollution, what are various effects and causes of noise pollution, what are the various diseases which are produced due to noise pollution, and how we can control this noise pollution. We also saw various laws and regulations which are used to control noise pollution at the source as well as in its transmission path. We will stop here now and will now begin our question answer session. Thank you very much.